ICT is in one way, a way in which the two countries can collaborate. President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier on also said that they have talked about collaborating in terms of ensuring there is regional and global peace, and they shall be working together on that front. She will be interviewed later on our sister station, Spice FM, where she will actually elaborate more on how the two nations are working together to ensure they are achieving fairness and common good, and of course harnessing the power of bilateral relations and good healthy relations between two nations. This is her first trip in Kenya, and of course her maiden trip in Africa, and it is hoped that this will actually bear a lot of fruit. Earlier on, we saw her arriving in the at the Standard Media Group premises earlier on, headquarters, where she was greeted by company CEO Orlando Lyomu. We are talking about President of Estonia, Kersti Kaljulaid, who earlier on arrived here, and of course, as you can see, that his security at the premise inside the headquarters here at the Standard Media Group. You can see her right there walking side by side with her security and CS Monica Juma right there as they head towards the CEO Orlando Lyomu's offices right there, whereby they shall be having a meeting and talks that clearly, as you can see right there, shall not be privy to the cameras. But later on, she will be having an interview with Spice FM's Situation Room crew, whereby she will elaborate more on her first visit. She is right there signing her name into the visitor's book right there, which is actually tradition. And of course, that will precede that meeting with CEO Orlando Lyomu here at the Standard Media Group headquarters along the Mombasa Road highway right here. Of course, this is quite significant because it just forms part of her trip here in Kenya, her first maiden trip to Africa, whereby she did meet with President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier on, and they did have conversations about multilateralism, areas in which they can collaborate between, rather Kenya and Estonia can collaborate. ICT is a key area. They talked about also achieving regional peace and of course global peace as well, working together on that front. She is quite impressed with the leaps that Kenya has made in terms of tech and ICT and harnessing the Kenyan citizenry to ensure that we are getting the most out of ourselves as a workforce for the betterment of the situation in our country and the economy. So she held bilateral talks on Friday with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and both state partners have talked about various sectors. And as you can see right there, she is set, flanked by CS Monica Juma, to have talks with CEO Orlando Lyomu, who's seen right there, exchanging niceties with the president. And perhaps we could listen in and see and hear what they are conversing about.
So, on the extreme end, we have Carol Kaljulaid. She's the managing editor in charge of digital. We are trying to be a digital-first media house, so she handles that. Then we have Tom Japan, the general manager radio, who actually is the local host for you today. We have Joe Monene, managing director of broadcast division within the Standard Group. We have Irene Kimani, the commercial director, and in charge of sales. Then we have Joseph Kiruri, the CFO, in charge of finances. And at the extreme end, we have Robert Cliff, chief of staff, who's also working in my office, and myself, Orlando Lyomu, Group Chief Executive Officer. So this is part of the Team Excellency, and we are really honored that you created time to visit with us. I'm very happy to be here, and it's very rare when you go for an interview that also you get a run-through of all the managers of a radio company. You know, in our part of the world, it's rushed in, rushed out. Very nice welcome. Yeah. Thank you. So we just wanted you to meet some of them, and then we can now.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, and what you're seeing right there is Cabinet Secretary for Foreign Affairs Monica Juma, as well as CEO for Standard Media Group Lyomu, as well, meeting Estonian leader Kersti Kaljulaid here at the headquarters Standard Media Group, whereby she has just finished a brief interview of some of the managers at the Standard Media Group. And as you can see, those pictures right there are of them walking out of the CEO's offices and heading, of course, to take a brief tour of the Standard Media Group headquarters, the newly refurbished newsroom of the converged Standard Media Group news system. And this is quite a significant visit because it comes hot on the heels of her meeting with President Uhuru Kenyatta earlier on this week. This is her maiden visit to Africa, and of course she chose Kenya as one of the countries that will be her first in Africa to visit. And some of the biggest issues that they talked about, one of the biggest issues that they did speak about on this trip were collaborations between Estonia and Kenya. And interestingly, she actually expressed that she was impressed by the leaps and bounds that Kenya has made in terms of ICT and harnessing the power of ICT in the service industries, and various ways that they have used ICT in progressing the economy. Also, they talked about ways in which Estonia and Kenya can work together to, to push forward global peace and regional peace. And of course, as you can see there, they're taking a tour of the Standard Media Group studios and of course a newsroom, just to take a look at some of the facilities that are used right here. A very significant visit right there, and it's been, the tour is being led by Group CEO Lyomu, flanked by security, heavy security right there. And of course, this is quite interesting to watch, because this is going to, and also later on, is going to be quite interesting to listen into the conversation she will be having with the hosts of the Situation Room live on KTN News as well as KTN Home, whereby they shall be having a conversation about bilateral relations between Kenya and Estonia. And as you can see, those live pictures that are gracing your screens are of that head of state and the Group CEO Lyomu as she heads towards the Spice FM studios. This is quite significant, as I've said earlier on. And as you can see right there, dressed in a pastel gown or dress, if you may, having a conversation with CEO Lyomu as she is led to the Spice FM studios right there. Earlier on, she did meet with President Uhuru Kenyatta, whereby they did converse on bilateral relations, multilateralism, areas of collaboration that include security, and of course ICT. Estonia is a world leader in ICT, and Kenya clearly has shown quite a lot of promise in that area. It has been dubbed the Silicon Valley, and Nairobi the Silicon Valley of Africa. And of course, there is a lot of potential when it comes to areas that those two nations can collaborate in, that harnessing the power of ICT and a population that is quite talented and in need of support on that area. One of the crew members right there taking a selfie with the world leader. Very, very interesting right there. They're taking a look at, or rather taking a studio, the gallery into the Situation Room, if you like, that is at the Spice FM studios, where they shall be joining the crew right there to take a look and have a conversation on